Hi, I'm Zach Weiss, co-founder of Worn and Wound, and this is the 2020 Virtual Windup Watch Fair. Zodiac has been on a roll lately with a number of popular releases, including several limited edition dive and GMT lines. Today we're excited to discuss Zodiac's latest introduction, a core, non-limited GMT line that's sure to make many of you very happy. We spoke with TJ McKnight, Director of New Brand Development for Fossil Group, about this new line. Now here's our interview with TJ. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us at the Virtual Windup Watch Fair. I'm joined today by TJ McKnight, the Director of Zodiac Watches for the Fossil Group. Thank you for joining us, TJ.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Could you tell our readers and viewers a little bit about the Zodiac brand and your role within it?
Yeah, I'll start with the Zodiac brand. It's a heritage Swiss brand from originated in 1882. Has a wonderful history. Some of the iconic times were 1953, the introduction of the Super Sea Wolf, and then a few other key moments through history. It's a brand that we acquired, and really, when we acquired it, it's really the opportunity to take something from a Swiss perspective and really build upon it. So 2 years ago, I was lucky enough to be put on the brand, to look at it and figure out how we revive the brand as far as really taking the business and structuring it out and building it. So my role within the Zodiac brand is more on the business side and the brand development side. So that's from understanding the history of the brand, the innovation that we're going to bring to the brand, and kind of the roadmap to bringing it from a very small business to a substantial, meaningful business with a bunch of great products. So I have a great team. I have a great creative director, and then I have a great design team and a production team in Switzerland. So there's a large group of us that are really trying to bring this together, and a lot of it is a passion, not as much as a job. So we're super excited, and we're almost like students of this brand. So we're super excited to be partnering with you guys at Worn and Wound to help facilitate that journey.
Excellent. And we're obviously big fans of the brand, one of the iconic dive watches, and in modern days, really interesting and innovative use of color, something that I think kind of distinguishes Zodiac, and an interesting approach to limited editions. You definitely take a different road than a lot of other brands have, and it seems to be paying off because Zodiac is quickly becoming more and more popular.
Exactly. I think we are supported by a bigger organization, which gives us a lot more ability to take risks. And I think right now with the brands, and I think the consumer today, they want a lot of risk, and a lot of people are not, they don't have that ability to do that. So we're right. Just wanting to have fun with it. So it kind of helps.
Yeah. So in the last couple of years, one of your most popular styles of watch has been the Super Sea Wolf Aerospace GMT, or just GMT. You make them in limited editions. They sell out really quickly. And now you are launching 2 core lines of the GMT. Can you tell us a little bit about those watches?
When we brought the GMT back, it was one of those pieces that we knew from the collector side that people were gravitating to. We saw it all over the secondary markets and things like that. So it was one of the first pieces we brought back. And with GMT, is just from a trend perspective, everyone loves the functionality. So when we brought it back, we were limited at 82 pieces. It was our first time to really kind of get back into doing some of these more elevated price points for the brand at the time. And they sold out really quickly. We were super surprised. We had a great bottle. So one of the factors of doing these short limited runs is one, we want to make things and we want to be very strategic in how many pieces we produce. We don't want to overproduce. The other factor is today, most of the pieces in our collection, we use our 313 movements. Today in our portfolio of movements, we don't have a GMT. So we are limited at some aspect of it to the movements that we receive. So what we've done is we said, let's go take some risks. Let's go make some really crazy, cool, very bright pieces. And then we'll limit them based off the availability of the movements. We started with 82. We just did the last piece, and we did it at 282. So we're slowly kind of moving up. I don't think you'll ever see us make a piece that's 1,000 units, but I think one of the comments from, we do listen to social, especially when people DM us, and we listen to our retailers. You know, the feedback was, why are we making so few? Because there's, you know, a very large demand for these pieces. So we said, hey, let's go make some core pieces. We're still limited on the movements. We are going to bring in these two, which are historical pieces out of our archive. The biggest difference are the stainless steel inserts on the top. So you won't see the crazy colors. We look at it as more as a basic, where you can still take color from the strap perspective. You can decorate it up. You can use, we've got multiple great silicone straps. You can purchase them as well. So you can still have fun with the watch, but it is more of a basic that we see as a broader appeal. Where our color today is still going to be limited, and we think they're really special in the colors that we do and the seasons that we introduce those. So no, we're excited, and we'll be chasing the inventory to get back into it, but we see as an evolution to as we start building a core assortment, that these two SKUs that we'll introduce will be part of that core assortment.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the steel model in particular is such a classic and iconic style. It goes very well with the kind of core divers you already have, the skin diver and the super Sea Wolf compression. So this makes sense as kind of part of that trilogy if somebody wants to get it, and this time they won't have to worry about rushing to get it, which is part of that is important for some people. And the core GMT watches are available now. And could you just confirm the price point on that?
Yes, they're $17.95.
And those are available through Zodiac Watches website, as well as windupwatchshop.com and other retailers that carry Zodiac watches, which is very exciting. Another thing that Zodiac has done in the last couple of years is kind of expanded its ambassador partnerships. You worked with Andy Mann, National Geographic photographer, very interesting guy. Now you have just started working with Paul Nicklin, who also very dynamic, wonderful photographer, and works a lot in the environment. Can you tell us a little bit about that partnership and why you're working with Paul?
When we started introducing Zodiac, and really we really focused on the Super Sea Wolf and the dive aspect of it. As we all know, in like 1953 was an iconic time frame for our time period for all dive watches. So we felt like, from a brand perspective, that story that we wanted to tell, we wanted to keep going with that story. So we started kind of exploring for brand ambassadors, and that's when we met Andy Mann, and it was a great connection. I think we spent a lot of time having dinner and some drinks, and kind of making sure that we were both, in that same, had the same love for the dive aspect of it, the watch aspect of it. And it just made sense. As we started working with Andy, and it really initiated from Andy. He's a great partner. He's got a great network of professionals in the diving and the conservation side of it. And then we also, started working with Sea Legacy with our own purpose, the dive with purpose for Zodiac. And it only made sense to evolve it and bring Paul Nicklin in. Paul Nicklin's kind of the one of the leaders in this field, as far as like photography and conservation, and how they bring this messaging to the masses to make a difference. So for him and ourselves, it made perfect sense. We fit together. He loved what we were doing from a brand perspective, and we loved what he was doing from the service perspective. So so we're super excited about what we're going to do with Paul and where that leads us.
Are there any specific projects with Paul you can discuss at this time?
Not yet. One thing that we did ask Paul going into it is, maybe he had the passion for watches, and how do we take the product and evolve it and things like that. So that is going to be one aspect of our relationship. I think short term, it's how do we embrace, the trips that he's doing, the work that he's doing, and really kind of double down on that in the Q4 time period, and really introduce him as a new brand ambassador. But I think you'll see it as we get into next year. We're gonna start doing a lot of cool stuff with him, and then we'll keep expanding. But they'll just have to wait and see.
It's very exciting that you are working with Paul Nicklin, and I could say anyone who is interested in learning more about his work should also check out his Instagram account, which is at Paul Nicklin. Really exceptional photography there. Are there any future plans for Zodiac watches, or anything that you can share with us for the coming future or 2021?
We're really doubling down on the dive and the super Sea Wolf aspect, even as we move into 2021. That we are working on some really great things to keep evolving that platform. We're also looking at like, how do we keep evolving the GMTs? We've launched a lot of them this year, even through the rough times of some of the delays. We were able to, launch the core GMTs and the other limited edition. We're looking at like 2021. It's like, how do we continue doing that, and what's the next thing for the GMT? So those two aspects, the Super Sea Wolf and the GMT, are going to be big topics for us, but they'll just have to wait and see. We have a lot of great things that we want to go after, but we still have a good runway with those pieces for a little bit.
Yeah, excellent. Very excited to see you guys continue to do some interesting work with color and materials, and all the things that I think make Zodiac really stand out. Well, TJ, thank you so much for joining us today, and hope to see you sometime in the near future, hopefully at the next in-person Windup Watch Fair.
Awesome. Thank you.